I'm poor, black, I may ever be ugly, but dear God, I'm here, I'm still alive. This is the last phrase you pronounce during The Color Purple, your movie.
I was like, okay.
And it's powerful, this phrase. And the first question is described like, but.
Did you just call me Miss Goldberg?
Yeah.
No. Whoopi.
Whoopi.
Please.
May
Please.
I?
Oh, yeah.
Perfect. Thank you so much. But it's a powerful phrase, no? A lot of passion, and you are alive. You feel yourself free now.
Yes, I've always been free. She wasn't free. But I've always been free.
And how did you get to this freedom?
No one ever told me I wasn't. Nobody ever said, you're not free. My mother always said, you're free to do everything you want to do, but everyone may not like it. So if you are okay with that, then it's okay. So, I just have been, I realized that I have been given permission since I'm a baby to be exactly who I want to be, when I want to be it. It may not please everybody, and of course it doesn't, but I'm all right with that too. But yeah, Celie is different. Celie grew up in a whole different chapter of our world for all women. The great thing about Color Purple is that it could be Italian women, it could be Chinese women, it could be Spanish women.
Sure.
We were all saying the same thing at the time.
The same problems.
Yeah. But my mother felt it was important for me to know my power as a person, just to be a person. And don't lie because you won't remember what you said. Don't cheat because somebody's going to catch you. Maybe not today, but tomorrow or the day after.
Yeah.
So, make the mistakes that you make because you are hard-headed. Or, what is the word in Italian? What is soft ass?
Soft ass.
Soft culo.
Culo, yes. Ass is culo, I understood immediately, yes.
And
soft is morbido.
Morbido, morbido
Culo morbido.
Yes. Yeah.
Non so se lo possiamo dire, ma lo diciamo lo stesso.
Hard head.
Ok.
Morbido culo.
That when you go back,
That's right.
You don't break yourself.
That's right.
But,
That's right.
Understood.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. It's a good suggestion.
I'm sorry if I'm cursing and I'm not supposed to. I take it back.
But what is to be free now for a woman? Now, right now?
It is the most free women have been, but I think, and this is no shade to men, but it seems to be men are very delicate. They can't seem to do anything without a woman. So a woman wants to go to school, they say, oh, no, you can't, no, you shouldn't be doing that. You want to be a doctor, oh, no, you shouldn't be doing. So all of the strides that we've made have brought us back to angry men who want us to stop doing what we're doing. But of course, there's no one on the planet like women because we have babies.
Yeah.
And we get up and then we go feed our other babies, and then we go to work in the field. Only women can do that. So there is something that frightens, I think, a lot of men, not all men, but many men, about women saying, I don't want to do what you're telling me to do. No. Men don't like the word no.
No. You still now?
Still now. And even though it's been proven that having us as your equal only makes everybody better. Sometimes they want to be better than the equal. So that's the fight I see women in now when we look around the world. And, you know, people say, oh no, you should be having babies and doing nothing. You know, well, you first.
They can't.
Yeah, well, you know, anything seems to be possible. Anything seems to be possible. So if you really want to know what that feels like, then you first. And then I want you to stay home and not do anything and see how you like it. Because everybody dreams, oh, I want nothing to do. It's so boring. I would go crazy. And it wouldn't matter if I had $1 billion. I'd still have to do something. I would be driven to do something. So I think getting men back on an equal footing with women and showing them that there's no fear to be had, but they're very delicate. I love men, by the way.
No, me too, me
Yeah.
too. But I think that we have love each other, because I don't think that the war is the solution, diciamo, between women and men. But
Well, men just have to figure out that they are not all there is. That that's why there's two. Because what happened? Adam said, God said, what, Adam? Nothing. Adam, what? What's the matter? So I'm lonely. I don't have nobody to talk. I mean, I can talk to you, God, but there's nobody else to talk to. I said, would you like me to make some? Yes, please. I was like, okay. God said, okay, Adam, do me a favor. Adam said, what? I said, take a deep breath. He said, and then God said, this is going to hurt. Pow! And he pulled out that bone. And he said, now, Adam, I'm making your equal.
you're equal.
You're equal. Because there's nothing that says I'm making someone lesser than you. It says I'm making you equal. So I feel like it came out of the body.
Yeah.
So when people say, oh, how is it possible that this boy child says he's a girl child? It is very possible. We come from each other. We come from each other. God does not make mistakes. If you believe in God, doesn't make mistakes. So God already knew. So maybe a lot of these questions where people say, this is bad, this is wrong. It's not about the people. It's about us. How do we treat people who are different? That's the question. That's what, if you believe in God, that's what God is watching. You can't make judgment about other people. According to God, only God can make the judgment, right? So
You worked in Hollywood, so...
sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, and so you know very well that do you think that, I don't know if, what do you think about MeToo, the moment?
What do I think about MeToo? I think a lot of women got abused by a lot of men. And somebody finally said enough. And when women say enough, they band together and say, that's the person, this is what happens, and then you take them to court.
And did something change? Do you think that something changed?
Well, either everybody got much quieter, or they stopped doing it. Yes, or they stopped doing it. Or people stopped doing things that got them pointed out as being abusive. See, when you put it in the light, it seems to, people go, oh, I can't do that anymore. I can't say that anymore. I can't touch you like that anymore, because people don't like it. So now people know you're serious. So I think anytime you can shed light onto a problem, it's a good thing, no matter what country you're in.
Whoopi, you wrote a wonderful book that is translated also in Italian, Frammenti di Memoria is the title. And in this book you wrote especially about your mother.
Yeah.
No? She was a special woman. She grew up with you. She was a special woman. And was she important for you? What she did for you?
Well, looking back, she let me believe I could be anybody and do anything if I wanted to. And most people I discover don't have that. My mother said, you want to be an actor? Okay, you better be good. If this is what you want, you better go out and learn how to do what you want to do. If you want to, you know, go out and write, because she loved to write. She was a good writer.
I know.
And she said, if this is what you want, you have to make sure you are good enough for you. Because you know if it's not good. You know.
It's important for you to hear.
Yeah.
So you didn't feel yourself never, I don't know, not normal, not...
Oh yeah, I've never been normal. Never. I've always been weird.
But you wanted to be normal, I'm not sure.
Well, once I figured out what normal was...
Yes, I agree with you.
I just thought, well, maybe not. Maybe I should just... This is okay with me. I'm happy with me. I like it. I'm fun and I'm silly and I'm okay.
What lessons did your mother leave you with?
I'm always with you. That's the lesson. Because you never think they're going to go away.
No.
I mean, the lesson that I learned is that she will always be with me.
You have a jowl, no? With you. I don't know if also today.
Yes, every day. Every day.
And it's your mom.
It's my mother and me. Can you see it? And then my brother and me.
They're always with you.
Yeah. And it makes me feel good.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
With your family today.
Oh. Tom.
Tom is
my family. His husband is my family. Salvador. My daughter Alex, my son-in-law Bernard, their children, Amara, Jersey, Mason, and they have a stepdaughter who is also, she's just their daughter to me. And her name is Chloe, and I have a great-granddaughter who is 11, just turned 11, who I like, but she's also very weird.
Do you think you are better like mother or like grandmother?
I'm better as great-grandmother. I'm better as because I don't feel the need to involve myself. You can't help it when you're a grandmother. Say, oh, well, maybe you want to try that. And your daughter or your son goes, you go, oh, yeah, no. Oh, no, you're right. But with the great-grand, they leave you alone. And so you and the great-grand can go off and do things, and I teach her how to curse, all kinds of things. Now she's too old, but she still curses, but not around other people, but only in my ear.
But do you think that a woman may have everything? Be a mother, be a worker, I don't know, everything she wants?
She's doing it. What choice does she has to go, not always, but she has to go to work. She is a parent. She is a friend to other people. People say, oh, I don't know if I can have it all. You already have it all. Stop looking for it. It's right there.
Yes, it's true. But sometimes when you do everything, you think that you're not doing this thing in the right way.
Stop watching television. Because you're comparing yourself. Yeah. Everybody's experience is different. Everybody. So what you see on television, well, that works because it has to. And it's going to end the story and everybody's happy. But the truth of the matter is, sometimes it's different. Sometimes I used to take my daughter everywhere, no matter where I went, good, bad, or ugly. I took her with me because I had to. I didn't have money for babysitters, but I also had to work. So she sat in the theater, And years later, people said, oh, well, you know, maybe that wasn't the, and I started thinking,
place
well,
for a
maybe I was,
child.
yeah, maybe I'm, and then I realized, well, what was I supposed to do? You know, stop. When you're a parent, you can't just stop. When you work, when you support people, you can't just stop. You must go through. So the best way to go through life is to go through life.
And to hug her.
Sometimes.
Like Nora.
And to pinch her sometimes. You know, but really hug her more often than you pinch, but still.
Listen, people say you are fierce and outspoken. Is that true?
No.
Why do you think you are?
I don't think I'm fierce. I don't think I'm outspoken. I say what I think, but they pay me, so that's why I do it. Would I do it without the job? I don't know.
But when a woman has a great character, they say that they have a bad character sometimes.
Sometimes I am a bad character. I am. Sometimes I'm just a terrible person because I'm human. I walk on no water. Water, I go right down. No, I think I'm just I'm a halfway decent woman. I try my best to be fair. I try my best not to be judgmental, but I am judgmental. Sometimes I'm unfair. Sometimes I'm, you know, just not the person I want to be. But then comes the next day and I'm better, you know?
How do you feel about the passage of time? How do you feel that time is passaging and so about your age?
I try not to think about it. No. Well, I do care because I'm surprised. I mean, I have an 11-year-old great-granddaughter. so time is moving. I see it moving. And I still feel like me, whatever that is. So I don't think I'm interested necessarily in acting my age, though sometimes I have to, because sometimes, you know, the body goes, hey, could you slow down a little bit? You know?
And what do you answer?
I try. And my body says, okay, you do what you think you can do. And then you go and you think, oh my God, I should have stopped. You know, you learn as you go what you can do and what you can't do.
Hollywood has imposed rigid beauty standards for years, no? Have you ever felt that pressure? How did you manage to stay true to yourself?
Well, I think I knew I was always going to be black, so... I mean, I didn't really know what I could do to change to be more what they wanted. This was it. So this is why I still look like me, because now, do I kvetch about the fact that, you know, there's some, I don't like that, you know.
Too.
But what are you going to do? I'm not going to cut the face or put the fillers in, because then it's, hello, I don't want to look like that, you know. So this is it.
Yes, also if someone says that also to change, to use this kind of things on your face is a kind of freedom for a woman.
For some women it is. For some women it's a great thing, you know. For some, it's like the shots, you know. I got sciatica, and because I fell and smashed the soft stuff in between the ribs, which created a lot of pain, which made me go to the doctor, and they gave me all kinds of steroids. And the steroids got me almost to 300 pounds. And I made a movie once, and somebody said, oh, this is a terrible fat suit they put her in. And I had to write them and say, this is not a fat suit. This is me.
Yeah, sure.
And when they were able to fix the back, they said, we need you to start on Manjaro. Oh, no, they gave me Ozempic. I said, I don't want that. They said, you need it because we need to jumpstart your system, because my metabolism is very slow. It doesn't want to move.
It's
just
breathing.
there. Yeah. And then, so I waited and waited and waited, and then I said, okay, I'll start. And for about a year and a half, right, the weight has come off. And it's very weird to me. Because I like, all my clothes are big. I love my clothes because I like to wrap up in them. But I'm a little thin for that now. So the things that I used to like to wear are too big. So I work on it because I want to wear a little bit more. And I say to people, listen, I'm not going to pretend I did exercise for this because I didn't. I took a shot. And the shot is what made the weight come down. You have to tell people the truth. So when they're talking about, you have to do this, and you say, no, this is it. This is it. I'm always going to look like this. I'm never going to be your idea of beautiful. Maybe someday to somebody, but not to you guys, because your idea of beautiful is something that is not attainable for someone like me.
For no one, perhaps.
No, but again, and I love men, but sometimes men are dumb.
Sometimes also women,
Yeah, but men are.
We judge
because
a lot other women.
We're trying to please a man's idea. We were talking earlier, remember? Well, no, maybe it wasn't. About the fact that when science tests.
Yes, we
that
were
was
talking
us.
Before.
When science tests for our medicine, it's always on men.
Yeah.
Male mice, so that's not really going to help us. But our medicine is created by men. Men don't know much about our bodies. For me, this has always been a problem because you want to say to a man, you have to know how we work. You have to know what
in a different way.
And we're very different. So when you look at a picture of a beautiful blonde, and I know blondes are I love blondes too. I love blondes. I love redheads. I love everybody. But that's not going to be everybody. You see some blondes in Italy, natural, almost even natural blondes. But you see women in Italy. Women. It's like you see women in Africa. You see women in Africa. You see women in Greece. Real women with behinds, and chests and faces that are not like this. For some women, that's perfect. It's good because it helps them do what they need to do. But for the majority of us, you can't judge us by a 17th century idea of beauty. You can't, because we don't look like that. We just don't. So I'm a big believer in reminding people that, hey, yeah, you're gorgeous. Yeah. And if you don't believe it, nobody's going to believe it. If you don't tell yourself you're a really great woman, nobody else is going to tell you. Because who knows you better than you? And we're told not to feel that way because that's thinking too much of ourselves. But why don't we think too much of ourselves? Look at what we do.
We look, but sometimes we are not sure what we are doing, what we are able to do.
And why?
It's education, I think, from when we are girls, no?
Yes.
Perhaps also the education, the kind of education that we receive, no?
Yes.
Think to a little boy or a little girl. Mm-hmm. If a little boy eats a lot, he's strong.
Yeah.
If a little girl eats a lot,
yeah.
Oh my God, she can become fat.
Yes.
Yes.
And you have to then look at the parents and then look at their parents.
Yeah.
Because our parents were raised by somebody to believe those things.
Yes.
But we know better. Why are we still raising our daughters to feel like that? That's a problem.
Yeah.
We know better.
Yes. Is there a woman who has inspired you more than anyone else, except your mother?
Actually, all the women from my neighborhood, they were all working women. They were all colors. And they were just trying to do the best for their kids, And as I look back at it, and I see what they did, I see what those women did, I see what they put up with, I see how they shielded their children, I see how they tried to teach their children the best that they knew. And you know, when you get older, you start to realize, oh, maybe so-and-so's parents didn't know how to read. You know?
Do you have an actress you love more than others?
Anna May Wong. You know her?
Yes.
Yeah. She's the first Chinese American woman in the movies. And they would put her in the movie. There'd be 3 Chinese characters, 3 Chinese women. 2 of the women were white, and then Anna May. And she was never the star. But she never said, and you know, she never said, why not? She just would say, here, I'm going to go in my writing room, make sure that they see me so they know what we really look like. You know, the same with Carmen Miranda. You know Carmen Miranda?
Yes, absolutely.
She had such a hard time. She's Brazilian. She had such a hard time. People were so angry with her, and they were mean to her. But she persevered. She went on. She brought the music. She did her thing. And the last is my... well, they're not twins, but Sophia and Anna. Sophia Loren is my go-to. No, that's my queen. That's my queen. And Anna Magnani, because she, oh my God. Women.
Yeah,
these are
with all the
all,
lines on their faces. Yes, absolutely.
And these were, for me, as a kid watching movies, these were the women. You know, when I would see Sophia, she'd start to move or start to sing, I think, I want to be like her. I want to be like her. And my mother would say, she is amazing. She's an amazing
She was
woman.
very proud of herself.
Yes.
Of her body.
Yes.
Without exception, without judges. I know.
She is. She's not gone. Whew. And I've gotten to spend time with her. I adore her. I never got to meet Anna Magnani, but for me, when I listen to Marlon Brando talk about her, or Burt Lancaster talk about her, she's spoken about like, you know, this is where I am. I'm a woman, and I don't care if you get it. I love that. Katie Giraldo.
Yes, a nightmare from a nightmare.
It can be.
Yeah.
Yes, it can be. But with the right man...
No. With the right man,
it's heaven. But sometimes it takes a minute. Sometimes it takes a minute.
Why did you want to become an actress?
I don't know. It was always really from birth. My mother said I was acting in the bed when I was a baby because I would do this or do this, and she said, I didn't know what you were doing. And she said, oh, you're looking for your light. You know?
She understood.
She understood, yeah.
But is it true that you dream of playing a monster?
Yes.
But why?
I love monsters. Oh, yes.
You aren't scared?
No, but I want to scare people.
Which kind of monster?
Well, I want to be a monster that you're afraid to go to bed because maybe I'm under there. I don't want a real monster who has a razor blade or who cuts people. I want to be something that makes you afraid when you're going down the hall in your house and you hear something. You think, what was that? And then you think, nothing. It's just I'm home. I'm here by myself and it's okay. But then you think, I feel something's in the house. That's the kind of monster I want to be.
The monster that is in the house, but you feel him.
You feel it, and you're not sure where it is or what it is.
Listen, your show, The View, what kind of show is?
It's a whole bunch of ladies sitting around talking, pissing everybody off. Sometimes.
Oh no, but it's a very important show, no? And you,
I think so. I think so. You know, I would like to see a show like ours in every country, because one of the reasons I think people don't have a real idea of what a woman is because they see them, they say hello to them, sometimes they're married to them, but they don't really hear them. And so to sit around and be a fly on the wall, which is what I feel an audience is to hear women talking about, you know, Mom's getting so old, or why is menopause so terrible? You know, there are lots of things. I wish that the government would look at us like this, or I think as a gay woman they should be thinking about us this. You know, it's just to have shows like that means that it is possible to have a well-rounded community that you live in. Because I think there's not a lot of conversation between men and women, but there's more conversation between women and women talking about things that, you know, impact them. And if we could figure out a way to share it, we might actually be able to fix stuff.
yes, it's the same that we do in very small part with women in food. We try to take a relationship between women, to have time to talk each other, and to, I use a word that isn't so common for women, to lobbying together, because men are great lob.
Yes, yes.
They have a great activity of lobbying, but women not.
No, because we're taught, no,
Perhaps
we're not
because
supposed
we haven't
to.
time, we are not, I don't know.
No, and also, you know, you're taught from your mother, your grandmother, your great-grandmother, how a woman is supposed to be. Well, that was great in 1950, 1960, but it's 2025.
I know.
And I cannot be silenced because you don't want to hear what I have to say. This is an equal relationship. And I know that it takes, you know, there's lots of, you know, family, you know, the family things. And families are great. But we have to teach young women that they are worthwhile and that they have to participate or nothing is going to change.
Because the problem is that everything is personal. Every battle is personal, and so we have to fight all the battles, not only the. And I agree with you on this. You rewrote Alice in Wonderland. You're head of writer. You rewrote Alice in Wonderland for black girls.
For my daughter, yeah, when she was little.
But what did you hope to achieve with this project?
I hoped that she would read it, and she did. So I wrote some more, you know. But when I was a kid, and you see it on television, you know, when you watch American movies, you don't see any black people, you don't see any Asian people. Now more. But when I was little, less. You know, it took Lieutenant Uhura on Star Trek for black people to be in the future, because in all of the sci-fi movies, we're nowhere. You know, so as you said, piano, everything is a little bit at a time it happens.
Sì, troppo piano.
Yeah.
Have you ever experienced racism?
I'm sure I have.
The worst thing that happened?
I don't know, because I go and I say to the person, did you just say that to me? And then people go, no, that's not what I meant at all. I didn't think so. But I'm sure it's there. I'm sure it's there in little ways. And you feel it, and you make a decision. Is this worth making a fight? Sometimes. But it takes up a lot of attention to go and say to somebody, listen, you don't need to say that to me, call me by my name, and blah, blah, blah. But I don't think people have been brave enough to do it to my face. Not yet.
I agree. I trust you. You don't cook more.
No.
Okay?
No.
You wrote a lot of, also written cookbooks, no?
No. I write books about entertaining. I wrote one book about entertaining because I love to entertain.
Okay. You ate eggs.
I do not eat eggs. I must be careful when I say this because I have to always let people know that I love egg farmers.
Yes, sure, of course.
And all the people that I love chickens. Don't get me wrong. I love a chicken. But for me, since birth, I just don't, the smell makes me very uncomfortable. Because, and this is terrible, so cut it out if you don't.
We have tags.
Okay. I feel like I have eggs in me. So if a monster comes from another dimension and wants eggs, like we do to the chickens, I don't want to be part of that. I want to be part of the resistance and say, no, you know. But you could cut that out because people say that is ridiculous. I say, but that's how I feel. But I don't like eggs. I know they're in everything. I know you bake it with it. But scrambled or the two.
But also the smell.
The smell, the fried eggs. I don't like any of it. This was fried eggs for me. That's
you don't want to eat yourself.
No. Yes, you get it. You get it. Because if I'm eating the chicken, the guy from the other planet's going to want it, you know.
Perhaps you were a chick.
Yeah.
I
feel that's right.
But you don't drink, but you produce a Prosecco.
Yes.
Why?
Because my friends like to drink a lot. And I only want to give my friends the best alcohol I can. And originally, I was asked if I was interested in making champagne. Mm-hmm. And champagne is wonderful, but I didn't know what a pain in the behind it was going to be. They need to tell you how to do the label. They need to tell you how the foil has to be. They need to tell you what you can do. And the people who make Prosecco were not that crazy. They say you can design your own labels, you can do this, but it needs to, you need to tell us what it has to taste like. So I would get it and we'd give samples to friends and family, and they would say, oh, this is too sweet, or oh, this is very dry, or this gave me a headache. And you say, okay, so you go back and you say, this is what they're saying about this one. And they say, okay, let's try this. And then they'd make another couple and I would bring it. And then we got to one where everybody said, this is just right. So that's the Prosecco that we're making now. It's like I guess a love letter to my friends. A thank you for being my friend. Yeah.
You know, like Nora Ephron, when she prepared her funeral, she prepared for every friend a cookbook with recipes she prepared in life for each one.
Yes.
And it's a love letter, I think.
Yes. Yes.
And so also your Prosecco is a love letter for friends.
Yeah.
What is your connection to Italy? Because you had a house in Stintino, but now...
Now I'm in Sicily.
Near Ortigia?
Near Ortigia, yeah.
Okay. Why this love for Italy?
Really, because Tom and I and some friends of ours went to Greece. And we had a good time. And I thought, okay, this is where it was going to be. And then we started looking, and he was looking, I was looking, and you cannot own the land. Because just because somebody says they own the land doesn't mean that they do. Sure. Because if you go back 103,000 years, somebody else's name is on the property, and their relatives can still own it. So then, because I follow Tom everywhere. If he goes somewhere, I say, man, maybe I'll go. So he said, I'm going to Italy, I'm going to visit with some friends. I said, okay. He came back. He had a great time. And he made the mistake. He made the terrible mistake saying, you should go. You should go. And okay, I'm going to go.
And you did.
And I did. And I found this wonderful place, and I loved it. And it was way far away on the island of Sardinia, on a peninsula. But you could never find me. People would call. I don't carry my phone if I don't have to. So I'd pick up the phone after maybe a week. Somebody, we've been trying to get you. Okay, well, what do you want?
Yes, but
so,
I understand.
And I love Stantino, but it closes, you know. And so at 10 o'clock, you can't go walking down the street. So not last Christmas, but the Christmas before, I decided that I was going to spend Christmas with Salvo and Tom. And we walked around. People were walking around. There were all kinds of, not parades, what do you call them? When people were carrying the saints, you know, and just, you know, in the middle of the Christmas.
Yeah.
And people were walking around Sicily. And I thought, oh, I see. This is what I'm saying. Okay.
It's the right ways.
Yeah.
You
just to feel
yes.
that I was in life with people. And the last thing was, just before I had come over to see them, a guy knocked on a door, and the people opened it, so it was a black man, and shot and killed him. And what I knew in my heart was that I never had to be afraid of being killed here. I know that probably doesn't sound like a big deal, but it is. If you get lost somewhere, you can say to somebody, I don't know where I am, and if you do it with hands and you don't speak the language, they say, okay, come on. And they either take you home and feed you.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know,
in the south of Italy, especially.
Yeah, or they will show you where you need to be. And I want to be someplace that I'm not afraid. And I'm not afraid in Italy. And I know Italy's not perfect. You know, it's not perfect. There's lots of things that people are fighting and trying to figure out. And it's not far from Africa. And I know that, you know, many Italians don't realize it, but we're the same blood.
Yes,
we are the same blood.
Yes.
You know, when people with the trade, everybody was, hello, this is my daughter, this is my son.
Also the food
hello.
is a mix of cultures.
It's everything.
Yeah.
So I just feel at home here.
Safe.
Yeah.
Oh, we are happy. Are you afraid of that?
A little bit.
And do you think to this thing, or you say, I don't care?
Oh, no, I care. I care. You know, I'm always reluctant to say, listen, I'd like to, when it happens, I'd like to just go to sleep, you know, but who knows? But yeah, I'm a little bit afraid because now at this age, maybe there's 25, maybe 30, but 25 probably left, you know, as opposed to 40.
Yeah.
But everybody has a turn. You know, Baudelaire had a turn. My mother had a turn. My brother had a turn. Some people didn't last as long as I have lasted. Some people will last longer. But right now, every birthday I celebrate for all the people who didn't get there. And when I tell you it's a big celebration, I love to celebrate my birthday. It's like, yes! You know.
I understand.
Yeah.
Which words are Italian, you know?
Prego.
Piano piano.
Piano piano.
Grazie, ciao,
Grazie,
buongiorno.
ciao. Buongiorno. You taught me one today. What was that?
When you were at breakfast.
No, when I'm talking about my behind.
Culo.
Culo.
Culo is a fantastic word.
I love
In
this
Italy, you
word.
can use for a lot of things.
Yes.
Yes, it's useful.
Yes.
So take it.
I'm going to be doing a lot of culo talk.
Whoopi,
Yes.
thank you so much.
Thank you. And thank you for all of this. This was a wonderful experience.
Also for us. Trust us.
Thank you.
Thank you.